You may think it's completely fine having free time, but something deep down inside you might not agree. Hello, welcome to this week's Wild Spirits News. My name is Sibylla, and today I ask you, are you feeling guilty for having time? The first time in my life that I ever employed a cleaner, something strange happened. On the one hand, I was overjoyed that finally I had less housework to do because I hate housework with a passion. And at the same time, I had this weird feeling whenever my cleaner was in the house. When she was working and I was sitting there, I was working too, but I was just sitting and she was, cleaning. I always felt like she was judging me for just sitting there while she was working. And of course, all that was just in my head. It was actually me judging myself because this woman was very happy for the work and to be paid for a decent pay because I paid her well. Since this is only one example for a fairly widespread phenomenon, your mission today is to learn why you might be feeling guilty for having time and what you can do about it. Task number 1 is catch yourself out. If you ask someone whether they're feeling guilty for having time off or just having time, they'll ask, of course not. Because it sounds a little silly, doesn't it? And most people are not even aware that they might be feeling like this. So in order to catch yourself out, so to speak, you've got to be a bit sneaky. You could ask yourself questions such as the following. I've written them down. What do you reply when you meet somebody in town and they are asking you, hey, how are you? Keeping busy? What's your reaction? When you've had a quiet weekend or even a holiday at home, a quiet one, do you feel the need to explain, even justify it a bit along the lines of, I've worked so hard recently, I really needed some quiet time? Think about that. How do you react? What are your thoughts about outsourcing parts of your housework? Either the cleaning the way I do, the ironing, any time of the housework, the gardening maybe, cooking. When you think about it, when you consider that for your life, what are the feelings, what are the thoughts that come up? Take good note of them. Don't dismiss it as silly or stupid because this is from our subconscious and it's not always very irrational. So don't judge yourself for it, okay? Take a note of that. Task number 2 is counteract the guilt. Now that you've identified where the thoughts are happening, you can actually do something about it. And this comes in 2 steps. The first step is dig deeper. Feel a little deeper into those guilty feelings. What exactly is it that makes you uncomfortable? It might not be straight out guilt feeling. Like for me with my cleaner, I was mostly a little self-conscious. So all these things are giveaways, right? So feel a little deeper into this. What makes you uncomfortable? What makes you feel slightly guilty? Whose voice is it that berates you? Is it really your own voice? Or could this be a voice from your past? Could this be a parent, a teacher, an auntie? Someone who said something to you about being lazy or being idle or, the devil finds work for idle hands and all these things. Try and find whose voice it is, because in most cases it is not our own voice. It's something that we've learned or acquired, and usually in childhood. So dig a little deeper. That's the first step. The second step is find counterexamples. So what you should do is just write down your guilt feelings. Now that you've identified them, you should write them down in full sentences. And then for each of them, find one or several counterexamples that prove the opposite. So true sentences that prove the opposite of that. Example, I've written down an example. I'm lazy for sitting around when my friends are at work. Can turn into, I deserve rest. I'm a badass for looking after my needs. Life is not a competition. Sentences like that. And you refer back to that, what you've written down there, whenever needed, whenever these feelings come up, because you're not going to eliminate them from one day to the next, especially if it's an old belief. and affirm this to yourself a lot. You can even say them out loud. That usually helps a lot, or just reread them regularly. And over time, see what it does. That brings me to task number 3, which is, as usual, let me know. Leave a comment in the below the video and let me know what you think of this. Do you if you feel not at all guilty ever for having time off? And if you really don't, I applaud you. But I will say most people do. And like I said, we are not really aware of it until we start digging a little bit into these things. So feel free to disagree with me. Just tell me your experiences and I'll reply to every comment, I promise. If you would like some more, you should consider joining the community of Wild Spirits on wildspiritscoaching.com. You'll fill in a little form and get 1 email per week. It's 100% spam free, with additional articles and information and recommendations of books and other resources. And sometimes you get exclusive offers that are only for my subscribers that nobody else ever gets to see. So go to wildspiritscoaching.com and sign up, or you can Google Wild Spirits Coaching. That'll get you to the website as well. Thank you for watching.